Ifor, thanks for taking the time to speak to Finextra. We've heard a lot about e-invoicing over the past couple of years, about the cost savings it could bring to the industry, but also the environmental benefits. Do you think there's an element of greenwash about those environmental benefits, or are corporates and banks really interested in those benefits?
In our experience, the financial institutions are actually taking their environmental responsibilities very seriously, both in terms of their internal organisation and in the services they offer to the corporates and the way they interact with their corporates. I mean, for example, electronic invoicing is one example where banks are actually providing these services to their corporate customers. Consider that annually, something in the region of 2.8 million tonnes of CO2 is produced merely in pushing bits of paper between corporates. Banks are actually getting into the space providing these services to their corporate customers, thereby promoting the sustainability of their corporates. It's a really good proposition, really. For example, it enables the corporates to reduce their carbon footprint, it enables corporates to reduce their costs, and also increase the transactional revenues for the banks. So it's basically a win-win situation.
Funtech Accountus recently signed a deal with RBS, which is a bank getting involved in delivering e-invoicing support and services to the corporate clients. Can you tell us a bit more about that arrangement?
Yeah, absolutely. Funtech are actually providing RBS with a whole range of services to facilitate their corporate customers to handle electronic invoicing. This works on the accounts payable side, so basically facilitating the delivery of purchase orders to their supply base and the receipt of invoices in from the supply base as well. But also what we call accounts receivable, so basically sending out mass e-invoicing to the customer base. It's a bank-wide service for all their corporate customers, and if this service reduces the amount of paper invoicing in Europe merely by 1%, it will actually result in saving in the order of 800,000 trees per annum. So it's a significant benefit, really.
And what feedback are you hearing from RBS and through them from the corporate sector about interest in the environmental benefits?
There's an increasing awareness of, obviously, the environmental issues. Corporates are increasingly including it in their sort of corporate social responsibility agenda, for example, in appointing environmental sustainability officers within the organisation to look at different ways of actually, promoting sustainability within the organisation. I mean, if you look across the organisation, an easy way to start is to actually look at the paper going out and the paper coming in. And obviously, electronic invoicing is an obvious candidate for that. And usually the first point of call for the sustainability officers. For example, if a corporate were to switch over to electronic invoicing and sending out 10,000 electronic invoices a month, that's equivalent to 1 tonne of CO2 each month. So obviously that's a good way to start. But at a global policy level, Funtech have introduced a sustainability programme, which is actually driven ground up from the employees at each local office level. So basically all the employees at all the local offices have come up with ways they think they can actually promote the environmental issues, promote sustainability, reduce their impact, reduce their use of materials, carbon dioxide. And basically each local office is implementing all these raft of measures, and then obviously that all comes together to sort of form part of the corporate plan as well.
At Sibos, a lot of banks and a lot of vendors are talking up their corporate social responsibility efforts. Do you think that the financial service industry generally is doing enough in this regard, and what more can be done?
I think there's increasing awareness of what needs to be done, but obviously I think that the scope for them to actually improve the range of services they actually offer to their corporate customers. I think the corporate customers are actually looking for these kind of solutions. I think it's up to the bank to be in a position to actually provide them as well. It's an opportunity for the banks as well because it does provide them with increased transactional revenue in these difficult times, and being able to provide services that reduce the amount of paper, reduce the energy consumption, but still increase transactional revenue for the bank must be a good thing.